I mean, it's the game right here. Because the third game, ain't nobody gonna play. None of your A-list celebs gonna play in the third game. This second game, all your A-list celebs gonna play. I'm just guessing. Cause that's just usually what it is around the league. So this gonna be the telltale right here, Mark. A-list versus A-list. Which celeb is bigger than the other celeb when it
Mhm.
comes down to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills? That's exactly how I'm looking at it, Mark. So we shall see. Can Kenny Pickett and company, from the perimeter standpoint, be consistent? Can that offensive line keep a picket fence around Kenny? So we shall see. TJ, Cam, and company, and Alex. That trio right there. I expect for them to do what they always been doing. That's just make plays and closing games out. It's gonna be interesting to see Pat Pete line up back there in the Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. Going against Josh Allen and company between Gabe Davis and Diggs and everybody else, and Josh Allen on that side. So I mean, Minka just Minka. Minka didn't play either. Minka just Minka. He just the best
There
safety
you
in the
go,
world,
man.
right?
You're
So
further proving my point, but yes.
yeah, so we just gonna see. And then from that standpoint, that's when we get to looking at the depth in the second half on guys being consistent. So,
Hmm.
hey Herbert, are we not entertained? Will that consistently run through your veins week after week? Can we count on you? So on when it comes down to depth, Joey Porter Jr. didn't play either. So I'm just guessing he might play when it comes down to this game right here. So it's gonna be an interesting game. That second game, since they cut a game off for the preseason, it used to be 4-9-3. So that second game is like the game where everybody
Yeah.
gonna play your A-list celebs playing to the half. So we shall see, Mark. This is gonna be like a real live game, but only half of a half. So it's gonna be interesting from a front office standpoint. All I can tell you, Mark, is just seeing the young guys being consistent. The guys that you drafted, the guys who are already the Pat Peets and T.J. Watts. You just want them healthy. You want them making it to the season. So say you already know what they're gonna do. The Minkas and all them guys, you know what they're gonna do. But the Urbics, the Joey Porter Juniors, um, the Levi's, the Kawan Alexanders, the E-Rods, the new guys we acquired from the offseason. Them. Let's see what these guys do. Let's see how they respond, and I think they're gonna respond well. So you know, it's gonna be interesting, Mark. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what that's like for you to see Patrick Peterson suit up for the Steelers, Joey Porter Jr. suit up for the Steelers, given that you knew who both of those players were well before they got into the league
Yeah.
from when you were a player. I can't even imagine what that's like for you.
Oh man, Joey Porter Jr. Ball boy, send him in training camp. Now
Yeah,
he's
and
damn near.
and, and really quickly, I saw Brooke Pryor's story. She had a lot of great quotes. You had a lot of really nice things to say about Joey Porter Jr. That story on ESPN.com. And Brooke, someone we've had here on the Bleav in Steelers
Correct.
show. But sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, good. Great seeing that in person too, Mark. Real cool as heck. We got to keep continuing to have on the show. Very
Hmm.
insightful when it comes down to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But yeah, Pat Pete had him in high school. Brian B Mac, y'all know him as Brian McFadden. That's his cousin. He wound up bringing him to Coach Shaw, and I thought he was in the league. Yeah, I was like, man, who this dude is? He was like, that's Pat Pete. He gonna go to LSU. He just a senior. He coming out of high school. I said, coming out of high school. I said, man, that boy built like LeBron James for real. He coming out of high school, what they feeding him. So, and Pat Pete, Pro Bowl after Pro Bowl, we wound up acquiring him,
Yep.
and just Joey Porter Jr. Man, just been knowing the dude since he was a baby.
Mhm.
Now he was looking up to me. Now literally, he's taller than me. I'm looking up to him. So that's just what it's just fun to see, Mark.
It's the best. Also, too, we've got the picket fence, the wrath of Khan, the con artist swagging you. A lot of great analogies. We're gonna have to create a Mount Rushmore of Steelers phrases. Like the
All day,
standard is the standard. Like,
all day, Mark.
oh man. Oh man, what do you want to see in the second game, Mike? I mean, I've kind of outlined improvements I'd like to see, but in the Steelers' second game, is it the consistency, Ike? You were mentioning that earlier.
That's from an offense standpoint. That's
Okay.
all I want to see.
All right.
Because
What
this
about
offense
defensively then?
on the defensive side, that the shutdown I'm expecting. Think about it. I mean, we got Cam Pro Bowl, TJ Pro Bowl, Alex should have hit the Pro Bowl. Then
Yeah.
from then from a secondary standpoint, Pat P Pro Bowl, Minka All World, and this is a guy we don't talk about as much, and I will. Levi Wallace. You want to talk about a technician? He's not going to wow you. He's not going to jump 40. He's not going to run a 4.4 or 4.3. But being in position, damn near every snap, Levi is in position every snap. The quiet assassin of the defense. And on that side, on that right side, playing the right corner, you got to have a guy not only one is willing to tackle, but who can damn near play man to man every play because usually quarterbacks are right-handed. So the left side of your defense is going to be the strength, so say. So it's going to be a lot of one-on-ones when it comes down to that right corner, that backside. And all Levi been doing is just been handling his business every day, every night, just like that. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for a shutdown, low down, bully ball when it comes down to the defensive side. You acquired Elan from Miami. He led the league in tackles for losses. He's a bully. Kwan Alexander, that's just his MO. That's what he displayed, being a bully. Holcomb, when it comes down to the inside linebacker position, he's just super savvy. When it comes down to that, and even Mark Robinson, he's going into his second year. He ain't been doing nothing but just flying around. He's bringing that old school Lawrence Timmons kind of attitude towards that defense as well. So it's going to be very interesting, Mark. It's going to be the first when the band get back together, and this is going to be the first game against Buffalo. So the band is back together on defense. So we shall see. Added a few new members, and we're going to see what these members can contribute to this band. But as far as like the band, it's going to be interesting to see what this band do, Mark.
I love this, Ike. I love this. Something I want to hone in on for our listeners and viewers. I mentioned the running back position and Anthony McFarland. Showing my prophecy, Ike, you lend me your psychic abilities sometimes. The nickel back position, Ike, is what I'm looking at in this second game. I know we mentioned Chandon Sullivan. There's a few other players getting into the mix. Who emerges at the nickel back position? Because we generally know who's going to start. I mean, I know strong safety is a little bit up in the air, and then along with the inside linebacker position of which of those inside linebackers is going to get the two starting spots. But the nickelback position is what I will have my eyes on in game 2 and the rest of training camp, because that's going to be very, very important with teams that play multi-receiver sets. So that's what I'm looking at in game 2 and beyond, headed into the game against Buffalo.
Look at Mark thinking like a damn coach. I love it. The nickelback position. You 100% right, because usually nowadays, man, they're not lining up in our formation. They're going slot. So they're going, it's called Kings. So Kings is 3 receiver, 1 tight end, and 1 running back. And that's exactly for far as that's a base formation for damn near over 70% of the NFL. So hey, look at that eye, Mark. Got that third eye is opening up, Mark. I guess it's football season.